to Bitcoin or not to Bitcoin? That is the question. I don't know. I personally think if you're hedging your bets currency-wise, you're looking at the likes of Bitcoin and it being the future, I think you have to rewind and see what's there longest, and gold is there before everything else. Gold's there before the euro, sterling, every gold's been there forever. So if you have those fears and if you're really thinking about currencies and that, yeah, gold from me. Bitcoin I think has a bit of a dirty one. It's mad, that was 2017. So I think Bitcoin went up by 200% that year. Man, how things have changed. So in the video we're actually talking about, somebody asked me how would you feel about using Bitcoin for a currency play compared to all the other currencies out there. So should we look at Bitcoin instead of sterling or instead of dollars? And I was saying no, I think you should probably use gold. But let me see the rest of the video, I can't remember. Look, if you look at the ransomware stuff that's going on at the moment, how do they get paid? They ask for Bitcoin. So it has a really bad association with criminal activity around. That's amazing that 2007 I was talking about Bitcoin being like used for criminal activities. Now you wouldn't even think about it now. It shows how much Bitcoin has come on since 2017. I still think at the time, if you're looking at Bitcoin against a currency, although from what we know now about Bitcoin and how so many people are getting into Bitcoin, as in the institutionals and even likes of Tesla, etc., being the biggest one. Yeah, I think my voice completely changed. This is the best thing about doing the Ask Paul and being actually putting yourself on tape, because you can go back and say what I thought was actually wrong. We're not afraid to say I was wrong with Bitcoin in 2007, but I don't think I was. In 2017, I thought it was too risky because it was associated with money laundering, it was associated with criminal activity, and it didn't have the foothold that it has now. So I feel more comfortable about it now. So I think the best thing about the Ask Paul journey is saying, yeah, Jesus, look, when we go back that way, we were so wrong. That actually has completely transformed into something different 4 years later. Hindsight's deadly, especially when it comes to investing. I think that's been maybe its downfall. Sorry, downfall seems on 400% since April. So look, it's not been its downfall, I suppose. I think, try to say is the association with that type of world, the criminality world, is not going to do any favours to get its global success. Everyone to be bought into it. So there you go. So 2007, I thought about Bitcoin and global success, everyone getting bought into it and saying about criminality. That's definitely gone now. But there's no one even thinking about criminality of Bitcoin now. Not one person thinks about it being used. So look how far Bitcoin's come since 2017. So yeah, I'm talking 2017 saying it hasn't got that worldwide. And now Tesla are now you're buying Teslas with Bitcoin. How mad is that? How quick it's changed. Love these videos. It's just a little bit too far out of reach for people. So if you're looking at currencies, thinking about them, gold. Been there since ever. It's going to be there forever. And if things go really wrong. Actually, I did a video recently on gold. Literally not contradicting what I said there. We're talking about how people shouldn't be, if you're investing in gold, not using a small proportion of your portfolio, like just be all out with equities if you're trying to make. So this video is two things about currencies. And now we're talking about, I feel, today in Ask Paul, even how much people's attitude to investing has grown up since 2017. Like, we very rarely got a question on Ask Paul about investing. Now nearly every question is how to invest. And the amount of people that can buy stocks on their phone, and people that I look at even what happened recently with the Wall Street bets and the GameStop. Nothing like that was going on in 2017. So Bitcoin was only kind of really getting known here. But I do think back then, kind of right, because you're saying from a currency point of view, I don't think Bitcoin was ever I don't think it was ever back then. Sorry, you were thinking back then. I don't think you could ever thought I didn't think Bitcoin was going to get where I was going to get to today. And I think from an investment advisor point of view, or even from an investor myself, I would be more risk averse with those type of things. And now I'm more happy to invest in Bitcoin and look at Bitcoin because it has got that worldwide reach. It took 4 years. Where's it going to be in 8 years? It's going to be, we're going back in this video in 8 years. That's what you have to think about. I think when you're looking at hedging your bets in this way, you have to be thinking, okay, if Trump nukes North Korea. Trump nukes. Well, at first in 2017, you thought that Trump was going to nuke the Koreans. It actually wasn't far wrong. That's slightly exaggeration. It's like Trump loves me. North Korea trying to nuke Trump, you're going to have problems with currencies. And that's when gold's going to be back in fashion and back doing well. Sorry, it's doing really well at the moment. It's going to skyrocket then, isn't it? It makes sense. It's quite logical. So yeah, gold's my currency, not Bitcoin. Sorry, Bitcoin people, come troll me if you want. That does happen though, the Bitcoin trolling. So after that video, I remember people saying you don't know what you're talking about. But I think the people that were telling me they didn't know what they were talking about had more of a belief in Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin has this cult culture, and it definitely still has it, where a lot of people that have invested in Bitcoin have not done the research, and a lot of people have, but the majority of people that are online and trolling, and when it comes to Bitcoin, they just want to believe in Bitcoin is making millions. But it'd be interesting to see, you only never noticed, what I experienced with Bitcoin after 2007, where it did fall off a cliff again, it did really go down a lot in value. Like, what happened then was people that held their positions or bought into Bitcoin cashed out of it. So they didn't know how to handle a Bitcoin investment. They didn't know how to actually say, right, you take a Bitcoin, invest in it, and leave it there for 10 years. Because it's so accessible on phones, people are trading in on a daily basis and they're getting in the highs, getting in the lows. I just think that's too stressful. I'd never recommend anyone do that anyway. I just can't see it. I know it's going to come back and bite me in the ass saying that. I said it. I know it's going to come back and bite me in the ass. And it has. And I invested, but I don't. So somebody said to me actually recently, when I was on TV, they made a comment on the TV, the Virgin Media one, made a comment saying, you're telling people to get in on the heights now. But I don't think I am. I don't think Bitcoin's anywhere near its heights now. And now we know now and how Bitcoin, I still think when you go back in 10 years' time, you'll be looking back in 2021 and thinking, I should have got in there, but you didn't have any investment. You know, and actually the stock market has done exceptionally well since 2017 as well. And I'm probably on tape somewhere in 2017 saying the stock market's the highest it's ever going to be. It might fall. And the thing kept going. Easy look back in hindsight, but at least Trump didn't nuke the Koreans, and that ended up being okay.